Boys and girls, grade 6, once again, welcome for your lesson. And today, I'm very much humbled to welcome you humbly so that we can take you through some of the key questions that you undertake during your end of term 2 exam. The exam needed some bit of brains, and I want to take you through so that you can understand where you erred, in which number. So I request you kindly to put your paper in front of you so that you can go with me from number 1 onwards. But I want to just say that about the math work, I'll handle all the math works in a later lesson. Welcome. Question number 1. What is the title given to the Council of Elders among the Ameru? Remember, Ameru are Bantu people who live in central Kenya. Before the coming of the Europeans, the traditional African communities they had what we call these political systems. Some of them were ruled by hereditary chiefs, others were ruled by a council of elders and what have you. But now this question is about which title was given to the council of elders which ruled the Ameru. You are given multiple choices. A, Jurinjege. B, Ngomango. C, Morans. D, Nduiko. Actually, the Ameru were ruled by a council of elders by the name Njuri Njege. And that was the correct option, boys and girls. Number 2, the most recent method of communication in Eastern Africa. This question is about communication. And remember, in communication, there are so many ways of communicating, media of communication. You can communicate through newspapers, radio, television, and what have you. But according to the multiple choices given, to the options given, A, newspapers, B, mobile phones, C, messengers, D, rockets. The correct option was mobile phones, smartphones. This is the most recent method of communication. That was the correct option. I don't know why some of you got it wrong. Go to number 3. Which one is not? The key word is not. Which one of the following is not a quality of a good citizen? First and foremost, when you read this question, understand who is a citizen. A citizen is a person who belongs to a particular country, and that status, that state of belonging to a particular country is known as citizenship. So the question is about which one is not a quality of a good citizen. A good citizen must do service, must give service to his land. Among these options given, which one is not a service given by a good citizen? A, obey the laws. B, pay taxes to the government. And C, respect authority. And D, be revengeful. By the way, A and B and C, they are all correct. You must obey the laws. You must pay taxes. You must be respectful to the authority, starting with the elder, village elder, all the way up to the president of this big, great nation, Kenya. But of course, we as citizens, we are not supposed to be people who revenge. We are not supposed to be revengeful. That's a very bad quality of a Kenyan. And that was the correct option. Let's go look at number 4. And number 4 is about mountain climate. Remember, Eastern Africa and also Kenya is divided into various climatic regions. Climatic regions. In the so-called mountain climate, the mountain vegetation, let me just specifically talk about mountain vegetation. Mountain vegetation is found on Mount Kenya and also Mount Elgon. So you find that in this mountain vegetation, that zone, that area is divided into various zones or other layers. So, for example, in a mountain vegetation, at the bottom we have a zone. We have a zone of grasslands. Then on top of that zone of grassland, we have another layer or zone of what we call rainforest. And then on top of the rainforest, we have another zone. You know, the more you climb up, the vegetation keeps on changing. So at the bottom, you begin with the grasslands. Up there, after climbing a bit, you come across rainforest. Then you climb a bit further, you come to bamboo forest. And then you continue climbing up You know, you go to Eid and Moreland. And then at the top there, at the peak there, we have nothing, but we have snow and the bare rock. So when you look at your map, I'm sure you are looking at it. You are being asked that part marked E. You ask what is which region is marked with the letter E. Automatically, letter A. Letter A is the second zone after grasslands. So that zone, that region was rainforest, and that was the correct option. You are given snow and bare land. You are given heath. You are given bamboo, and what have you. So you as a bright learner, you as a bright candidate, you should have chosen rainforest. Let's go to number 6, boys and girls. What is the main economic activity that takes place in region E? And according to your map, the one you are looking at it very clearly, region E, it shows savanna grassland. Actually, in savanna grassland, savanna, it has to do with the tall grass. And this region is very convenient for what? Is it for mining? Is it for pastoralism? Or is it for fishing? Or is it for trading? I want to tell you, this zone E is very good for nothing else but pastoralism. That was the correct answer. Number 7. Still, you are using the map. Using the map of Eastern Africa, I want you to explain the drainage featured. The drainage feature marked H in this map of Eastern Africa. Now, when you look at the options, A, Lorian Swamp. Lorian Swamp, automatically, that one is in Kenya, where River Ewasonyiro Nose drains. Sud, this is in South Sudan, actually, where River White Nile drains. That was the correct option, by the way, boys and girls. Sud, S-U-D-D, swamp. And that is where the White Nile drains. And the White Nile is up there in South Sudan. So these are the multiple choices. Loriani, Igombe, Bunyana, they were all distractors. Let's go to number 8. The town marked A. That town, it is at the coast of Kenya. That town is at the coast, that town is in Tanzania. It is almost next to Namanga. You cross Namanga, you go to that town. That town is none other than Arusha. And Arusha is the headquarters of EAC, East Africa Community. That is Arusha. And near Arusha, we have one mountain, which is also a volcanic mountain, Mount Meru, just next to the town. So the correct option was not Dodoma, was not Musoma, was not Nairobi, but it was Arusha. Question number 9. The lake marked Z. If you look at your map, the way I'm looking at yours, if you look at your question, I can see that Lake Z was supposed to be Lake Victoria. It is Lake Victoria according to that map. So Lake Victoria, it was formed through a process known as downwarping. It was not faulting. It was not lava damped. Remember, lava damped is whereby when lava is, during those times, when lava is coming down, it blocks a river. And then after the river has been blocked, it becomes a lake. So the correct option was D, downwarping. Number 10, the route marked G. That route, when you look at your map directly, you can see it is crossing over the Indian Ocean, entering Kenya. Those people who are crossing, were entering Kenya through the coastal region. These people are the Semites. These people are not Bantu. These people are not Nilotes. These people are Semites. And that was the correct options, boys and girls. Bantu entered Kenya from the southern part of Tanzania there and down. And the Nilotes, you know, they came from southern Sudan. So you remain with Semites. Number 11, the National Day. In Kenya, we have got what you call National Day. These are the days we celebrate big occasions in Kenya, like Jamhuri, like Madaraka, like Mashuyande, or if you want, you can call it Heroes Day. Now, which National Day is celebrated on 20th October? A, Jamhuri Day, Mashuya Day, Huduma Day, Madaraka Day. For your information, Jamhuri Day is celebrated on 12th December, and Madaraka Day is celebrated on 1st June, while Huduma Day is celebrated on 20th of October, and Madaraka Day is 1st June. So, and Mashuya Day is 20th. So, the correct option here was The correct option here was 20th October is Mashujaa Day. Thank you. We move on to number 12. The mineral mined at L. When you look at L, automatically that is at Lake Magadi. The mineral mined at Lake Magadi. Here in Kenya, we have got several minerals which are very important. The most important mineral in Kenya, which is produced in large quantities, automatically it is soda ash. And the soda ash is mined at what? At Lake Magadi. And actually, this is a very heavy commodity. And that's why it is supposed to be transported using the rail. And that's why there's a railway branch from Konza all the way to Lake Magadi. Remember, Lake Magadi is in Kajiado County. Number 13, the safest place to cross Abyss Road. Let's say you are crossing Abyss Road, maybe in these urban areas like Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, and what have you. There are those crossing points. There's zebra crossing. Well, there's footbridge. This is a modern way of crossing the road. Then there's a junction. There's a traffic, and then where there are traffic lights. Where would you think to cross that road and be safe? Zebra crossing, not very safe. Footbridge, that was the correct option. Junction, don't try. Traffic lights, don't be so sure. So the correct answer was choice footbridge. Ile daraja, that bridge which is built to go over the road, that is the most safest place to cross Abyss Road anywhere in Eastern Africa. And then number 14, which is the best climatic condition for keeping beef cattle. Beef cattle, they don't need cool and wet climate. Option C, cool and wet is for the dairy animals. Those animals which we rear them for the purpose of giving us milk and milk products. What about hot and dry? No. What about hot and wet? Yes. That was the correct option. And that was, so beef cattle are very convenient in hot and wet climate. Number 15, the main tourist attraction in Eastern Africa. The main tourists, most of the foreign tourists, they come to Eastern Africa just to enjoy seeing the wildlife. The leisure sites, no. Like Namugongo, wherever, no. They don't come, they mainly come. Of course, these others are tourist attractions. The leisure sites, yes. Sand beaches, yes. Beautiful sceneries, yes. But the main, remember it is the main tourist attraction is nothing else but wildlife, wanyama wa porini. And when you go to the coastal area, there are so many trips now when the schools are closed. There are so many trips all the way to Mombasa. Why do they go to Mombasa? Why do people go to Mombasa? Number one, Mombasa is a tourist destination. And one attraction of coastal area is none other than the sandy beaches. Apart from the 5-star hotels, apart from swimming in the ocean and what have you, the main tourist attraction along the coastal area, I remember traveling there, is the sandy beaches. But as a country, it is wildlife. Let's go to number 16. Which one is a traditional method of fishing? Trawling is modern method whereby nets are used, which are pulled by a ship or a boat. Seining is also a modern method of fishing, and it is used in this what we call marine fishing, sea fishing. Hook and the line, that is traditional. It has been there since time immemorial. What about option D, net drifting? That is a modern method of catching fish. That is a modern method of catching fish used in large water bodies and more so in the marine fishing. 17. Which traditional leader practiced long distance? Oh yes. Remember, there are those leaders who are associated with the trading. Some were traveling from the Kenya mainland to the coastal area. Let us look at option A. Mekatilili Wamenza, she was a Taita. This lady was not involved in trade. She was involved in fighting for our people. And I remember there was a time it was said she walked all the way from Taita Taveta all the way to Kisii on foot. So option A, Mekatilili Wamenza, out. What about B, Chief Kivoi Mwendwa? Chief Kivoi Mwendwa actually used to trade with the coastal area, the Arabs. So he could travel all the way from where? From Kitui, from Ukambani, all the way to the coast. That was the correct option. Kabaka Mwanga, that one was in Uganda. and he was a chief, and this guy, he was a king, and this guy was not involved in trade. Chief Mirambo is from Tanzania. I think the Mwezi there, and he was not involved. Let's go to the next option, number 18. Which one is an historic built environment? Remember, you boys and girls, you must differentiate a built environment. Built environments are like schools, churches, hospitals, and what have you. But now, when we talk about historic built environment, it is where a building is there existing, where we can go and get information. So here, which one is an historic built environment? Mount Kenya is a natural physical feature. Tana River is a natural physical feature, which is drainage. Fort Jesus is an historic built environment. Hilton Hotel, this is a built environment. So the correct option was Fort Jesus. 19. Which factor does not influence dense population? What makes an area to have many people living there? Let us look at this. A, presence of minerals. Can a mineral like diatomite attract many people to live in that area? Yes, because many people eventually will be employed to mine that kind of mineral. If you go to Kerio Valley, if you go to Mombasa, Msambweni, where there is salt mining, automatically, where there is mining taking place, where mining is taking place, it attracts large number of people. So option A, it attracts. What about B, government policy? Yes, government policy can also make an area to have many people. For example, government can set aside a settlement scheme, you know, like in Mwea, and many other parts, Pekaila. So settlement schemes, they in a sense, they attract dense population. What about presence of towns? Correct. Where a town is growing, automatically we expect large number of people. What about hilly people? People will never be attracted to live in a place which are hills. Number one, how do you flatten a hill to build a house? That was next to impossible. Number 20, which factor promotes peace in Kenya? Peace is very essential. We as a nation, we cannot we cannot proceed, we cannot prosper without peace. Now let us look at the combination that gave us the correct factors. A, obedience and respect. Let us look at B, conflict and selfishness. That one is out. C, love and jealous. That option has been spotted by jealous. We should not be jealous. D, dishonest and respect. That combination of D is it is wrong because of dishonest. So we remain with A, which says obedience and respect. That was the correct option. And then number 21, a class of grade 6 wants to start an enterprise. When you want to begin an enterprise as a class, you have to do several things. The first thing to do is what? Which is the first activity? Is it share profits from the project? No. You cannot share the project and that you have not started. So option A, out. B, agree on roles during the project. That's a very good idea. But before you agree on your duties, there's something that you should do first. So option B, out. Let's go to C. Discuss where they sell the product. You have not started the project. So you cannot sit down and start discussing where you're going to sell because already you have not produced anything. What about D? Discuss the type of project to start. That should be the first activity. Sit down and discuss which activity you would like to start as a grade 6 class. And that was the correct answer. And then number 26, which one is a plain nylon? Remember nylon, they are among the largest language groups. No, in Kenya we have got 3 main language groups in Kenya. We have the Bando, we have the Nilots. Now these Nilots are subdivided into 3 groups. We have the River Lake Nilots. These are the Luos who live around the lake region. Then we have the Highland Nilots. These people against themselves in farming. In fact, they farm. They do a lot of farming. These are the Kalenjin, the Nandi, the Tugen, and what have you. Then we have what we call the plain Nilots. These are the people. This group of Nilots do not engage in farming, but rather they engage in pastoralism. These are the Samburu, the Pokoti, the Sambu, the Maasai, and what have you. So you want to look at this one. Which one is a plain Nilot? A. Kalenjin. No. Kalenjins are island Nilots. Luo. Luos are river lake Nilots. Samburu. Yes. What about Alua? Alua, it's a tribe which is found in Uganda. These are Nilots in Uganda. Now, number 22. Which one is an example of a relief feature? Remember, the physical features are divided into two categories. We have the so-called relief features. These are relief features. These are the physical features that appear to be rising above the surface of the earth, or they appear to go under. These are like what? Valleys, plateaus, plains, and such. Then the other category, we have the so-called drainage. Drainage features, they have to do with the water. These are the lakes, these are the oceans, these are the seas, these are the swamps. So when you look at the question, which one is an example of a relief feature? Automatically oceans is out. Why? Because it is a drainage. What about B? Mountain. Mountain, it has nothing to do with water. And I've just said mountain is an example of a relief. It is rising above. What about lakes? Lakes out, because lake is a drainage. It has to do with water and also as well as swamp. So you remain with the correct option, which is mountain. So boys and girls, without due respect, as I wind up, remember when you are doing your exam, you are going to miss very simple questions simply because you are not keen. You are not looking at the key word. Read the statement, identify the key word, hold your pencil in your hands, do something we call elimination method until you remain with the correct option. And remember this, now, no, in history, no learner, no candidate has ever passed the exam without revision. So let us put a lot of effort, boys and girls. As you know, this is your final stretch. We are now approaching term 3. The KIPSE exam is just looking at you, is just staring at you. But me, when I look at you, I know you are great boys and girls. So I wish you hard work. I wish you serious revision as we approach towards the exam. Bye for now. See you next time. Thank you.